Okay, good one. Once again, good Monday evening. Welcome to the Sports Time New Orleans Sports Video Podcast, pre-recorded edition for Monday, June 17th, 2019. We're going to be going over some wrestling headlines. We'll talk about wrestling in this next 30 minutes. Okay, let's begin with the Monday Night Raw. Tonight, Monday Night Raw began tonight. That was tonight. So let's go ahead and switch this over. So we won't show you the so I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Okay. Excuse me. I was burping. Okay. Monday Night Raw. Results from tonight. Okay. The first one was the Elias concert. Started off Monday Night Raw. So that was the beginning of the show, and once again the fatal five-way match between The Miz, Bobby Lashley, and Cesaro, Braun Strowman, and Ricochet. That was the fatal five-way for the number one contendership of the for the championship. The first one, Cesaro was eliminated by Braun Strowman, so that was one of the eliminations. Then Bobby Lashley did clear house in that match with a monster among men get the power slam. Also, Bobby Lashley eliminated Braun Strowman, so that was one of the matches. He eliminated Braun Strowman. Okay. Also, Strowman then headed outside and hit with a running tackle. So, hey, this was a pretty good match. It looks like a pretty good match to bear right here in this. So, I have no doubt in my mind. Also, Braun Strowman eliminated Ricochet, so that was one of the eliminations. Braun Strowman did eliminate Ricochet. The winner was Ricochet. He is now the number one contender for the championship. I think it's going to be the United States Championship. So Ricochet hit the 630. That was the one of his finishing moves. So I'm going to kind of say about this match right here. What I'm reading in this article, I think this match was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't. It kind of wowed the fans. Time to celebrate is brief. A Samoa Joe hits the ring and attacks Ricochet behind and the boards, sending him outside, flying over. So let's go ahead and go over some more matches in this podcast. The man arrives on Raw. Becky Lynch. Next time she will have Lacey Evans. I'm gonna say this: these two. This is gonna be a pretty good. I say these two right here. Be honest with you. Look, Becky Lynch. Look, this young lady. Look, she won 2 titles, and that's one thing. She will contain those titles. Now the next one will be a backstage segment with the Revival. Shane McMahon was in the VIP area. There was something going on there. I mean, also, the SmackDown Tag Team Champions arrived on Monday Night Raw, and you can you'll have one from SmackDown and one from Raw goes to SmackDown. So that's how it will be in reverse. Okay. Next match will be the Viking Riders versus Local Talent. The winners were Viking Riders, so that was the fans showed up in the front row, booing the tag team champions. That happened to R-Truth and Carmella. So let's go ahead and look at the other matches. Okay, Heath Slater wants a raise. I don't know if he's going to get a raise. I don't know if he will. I mean, Vince McMahon ain't going to entertain that. It ain't gonna happen. So now the Kevin and Sami Zayn show, that was one of the segments on Monday Night Raw. I mean, they always have stuff going on those things. Now, the backstage segment was AJ Styles, um, the medical room with the Good brothers, um, dressed in doctor's uniforms. AJ Styles reminded his debut in LA. Also, he told them that they got comfortable and made a lot of money. So, next match over, New Day versus Baron Corbin, Corbin versus Kevin Owens and versus Sami Zayn. Let's see, the winners was New Day 2.0, so that was 2-0, so they won that in that match. That was looked like a 1-0 for Corbin and Corbin, Owens, and Zayn, and then 2-0 for the New Day. So they went up 2-0. That was New Day went up 1-0 and then 2-0. So that was one of those little 2 out of 3 falls match, looks like. Next one we're gonna go over is let's see, Paul Heyman had something to say. I mean, you know, he always got to flap his gums and stuff like that on Monday Night Raw, and sit there and waste time with people. So you notice that's gonna happen. Sep swings a chair. Eric Young, so I think he kind of swung a chair at one of those guys. The next match over will be the Usos versus Carl Anderson versus Luke Gallows, and that was one of their matches. It was let's see, the Usos makes a save and with a super kick, and the brothers then double kicked them and won the match, so they did win. The Usos won their match tonight on Monday Night Raw. Now, Roman Reigns wants Shane O'Mac. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a pretty good match there, knowing those two. So let's go ahead and go over to these next matches. Let's go to page number 5. Women's match was the Illicons versus Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss. That was one of the matches. That was a women's match. The winners was the Illicons, so they did win their match. Backstage segment, Nikki Cross was claimed Bayley crushed her dreams. Now this is, this is kind of goofy right here. I mean, I seen it a few minutes ago. Firefly House. It was some kind of with Bray Wyatt and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's a weird show or something like that they have. I mean, look, nobody's interested in that show. I mean, they shouldn't have stuff like that. But that's how it goes. It's scripted. Okay, the next match over, Daniel Bryan versus Seth Rollins. That was, I think, that was the last match of the evening. The winner was Seth Rollins. So we'll show you a few excerpts of it in there. Okay, what happened? Okay, the match was underway. Bryan did take Seth Rollins outside and sent him crashing through the steel stairs. So that was one of the. However, Rollins gets caught as Bryan catches foot and locks into submission. So he put in a submission move or something like that. So I'm gonna say this about Monday Night Raw. Look, they may drop down in ratings week after week and stuff like that. But the thing is, they get very interesting at times. The Monday Night Raw shows get very interesting at times. I mean, when you're on this when you're sitting there on Monday night watching those wrestling like that, look, I mean, you got to consider a lot of things that's in there. It's going to be scripted. It's going to have a lot of action and stuff like that. It's going to be fast paced. So I know people gets a little upset about that, about their favorite wrestler not winning and all that. But the truth of the matter is, look, it's good. It's good entertainment, to be honest with you. So um, I'm not. I'm not the one to bash Monday Night Raw. I'm not. I've been watching Monday Night Raw for years now. So maybe 20, 25 years. Maybe close to that. So I mean, look, it's not a look. It's not a day goes by that this show wows people. So that's my take on Monday Night Raw. Let's go ahead and look at the wrestling news of the day. Okay, let's talk about United States Championship match is set for the Stomping Ground pay-per-view, which will be next Sunday, June 23rd. It will be in Tacoma, Washington. It will be the show will headline WWE Champions rematch between Kofi Kingston and Dolph Ziggler. So it's going to be a championship match. Also, inside the steel cage will be Baron Corbin and Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship. Special guest referee will be named. So that's going to be a pretty good show right there. So I mean, look, if you're not a wrestling fan, I strongly suggest you start watching Monday Night Raw and then SmackDown, because look, these wrestling these wrestling stars put out a lot of. I mean, they put their bodies on the line. I know people don't want to watch it no more because it's getting to be stupid, but I watch it every single Monday night. I'm not missing it. I mean, if people don't want to watch it, that's their opinion, and they're entitled to their opinion. So, I mean, look, and I'm entitled to mine. So that's my take on it. Let's go ahead and see what else we need to talk about here tonight on this Monday night edition of the Sports Time New Orleans Pro Wrestling Podcast. We'll talk about it. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about some more pro wrestling information. Okay, this is G1 Climax lineup. This is for the Japanese wrestling side. This is from Mike Kellum. You can reach him at ProWrestling.com. This is the lineup. This is the A blocks. These are the A blocks I'm showing you on my screen. Also, this is the B block as well. If you haven't seen New Japanese wrestling, I strongly urge you to go there and watch it, because it most likely will be pretty good. That will be set for July 6th. That will be in Dallas, so that is going to be one of the new Japanese pro wrestling. I'm trying to say it, New Japanese Pro Wrestling. So this is from Mike Kellum. You can reach him at the ProWrestling.com. It's ProWrestling.com. Okay, let's see what else we need to talk about here. Let's talk about Arn Anderson. Let's talk about him. Okay, Arn Anderson clarifies contract status, doing his appearances on the two-man Power Trip podcast. He is a former producer, Arn Anderson. He still revealed he is under severance package from WWE. So through making technical employees. So I'm gonna say this: look, they need to pay this guy, because if he's under severance package, they need to pay him, because that's something right there. Look, he's been in wrestling for years. I mean, he's a producer on one of those podcasts. So I strongly urge WWE to do the right thing and kind of look. He's trying to get his contract, so he's trying to get his contract renewed. Hopefully he does get it renewed. So that's from ProWrestling.com. See what else we need to talk about here. Okay, Ring of Honor finally locks down. Let's see. See what this is. Ring of Honor finally locks down Jonathan Gresham. He is a signs another star. So Pro Wrestling is reporting that Ring of Honor agreed with Jonathan Gresham. He's 31 years old. He worked with Ring of Honor since 2014, so that's about 5 years ago. He's been working with that. He's not yet signed a contract. Recently, his lack of contract was the major talking point during a breakout um, performance of the year, Best of Super Juniors. So um, let's see. Ring of Honor has locked a deal with Deathmatch and Indie um, Sensation Maria Maniac. Also, she's been with the organization for 4 years and will be a wild card in the company in the women's division. So that's some news from Ring of Honor Wrestling. That's from Ross Berman. You can reach him at ProWrestling.com. That's Ring of Honor Wrestling News. Okay, let's see what else we need to talk about in this show. Okay, complete list of WWE 24/7 champions. Titus O'Neil was one. Robert Rhodes was one. R-Truth was one. Elias on SmackDown. R-Truth on SmackDown again. Jinder Mahal. Excuse me. I didn't want to. Jinder Mahal. R-Truth again in June. Elias back on June 4th. Also, R-Truth on June 4th. Jinder Mahal on June 6th. And R-Truth on June 6th. So that's a whole bunch of people that held that 24/7 title. So that you got to hold that. You got to contend with that title for 24/7. So that's one of the. So this is from ProWrestling.com. That's Mike Kellum article. All right, let's see what else we need to talk about on this podcast episode. Okay, WWE Universal Champion Seth Rollins set for a huge singles match on Monday Night Raw. So he did have his huge match. We already looked at it. I think he kind of won. I think I don't know if it was against Daniel Bryan. So I think he won that match. So let's go ahead and give you more updates. We'll go ahead and look at some more stuff in here. Big Cass. Let's talk about Big Cass. Big Cass says his life was falling apart. Talks about mental health issues, alcoholism, Jonathan Moxley, and more. Look, admitting that you have a problem is the key. I mean, I know what he's doing, Jonathan Cass, and all that. This is via Pro Wrestling Sheet. That's one of the sub sites for. So he talks about a lot of things about alcoholism and stuff like that. So, and this is his last time people saw me. I was fat, I was drunk, I was out of shape. I was on the floor going to the hospital. I had a seizure. My life fell apart. I had mental issues. I was an alcoholic. 6 months. I am 300 effing pounds. He also he was shredded. So look, it's a lot of things these wrestlers go through. People does not understand this. Does not understand these people go through a lot of hardship and stuff like that. Sure, they want to be your superstars in the ring, but they got a lot. They got a lot of bad sides to them. Look at what happened to Eddie Guerrero back then. He was um, that was way back then, and back in the maybe back close to the 2000s, stuff like that. Look, he ended his life. There's a lot of these wrestlers end their life in suicide. People don't realize. People think, well, they get paid the big bucks and all that and blah 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 blah. That's not the end of. That's not the story. The truth of the matter is, when these people go on the road, they have to go on the road maybe 3, 4 times a year. That's 300 times a year at minimum. I mean, that's people don't want to understand that. They want to say, well, he was just doing all that. So I don't know why he's telling us that. Look, look. You got to realize these people, these people right here, they're human beings just as much as these people are. They're human beings. They're not robots and go when people tell them to go. That's stupid. Look, they also got to deal with injuries and stuff like that. That's one thing about these wrestlers people don't realize when they watch wrestling. I'm sure they just watch wrestling and just boo and boo-hoo and cry and all that. No. Look. I mean, look. Sure, this is scripted and all that, but the truth of the matter is, look, I'm glad Big Cass is speaking out about his issues. I'm glad he is. So this is my take on it. This is from ProWrestling.com. Alright. We got about 7 minutes left in the program. I'm going to probably see what else we need to talk about in here. We got a lot of stuff we got to go over. Okay. Okay, 2 major segments for SmackDown tomorrow night. That will be on USA. 2 major segments. It will be on SmackDown. First one will be, let's see, the Women's Championship title match on Sunday. Alexa Bliss will host Moment of Bliss. That's going to be on the show tomorrow night. And also, let's see, the number 1 contendership for the WWE Championship will be on the line as well on SmackDown tomorrow night. This is from Matt Wilkinson. You can reach him at the ProWrestling.com. Matt Wilkinson. Six minutes. We're still in. Okay, the next one is see what's happening on the other ones. Let's go ahead and go dive into Impact News. Let's go ahead and dive into that. Impact Wrestling. That's the other wrestling program. We'll dive into some of that. Okay. Okay. This is from Mike Kellum. Scarlett Boudreaux speaks out after being grabbed by a fan during a AAA match in Cancun. That was Scarlett Boudreaux. I'm trying to say her name. Scarlett Boudreaux. She did speak out about it. The incident took place during the 6-woman tag team match where Boudreaux was in. The Impact Store was outside of the ring when a fan in the front row grabbed her and actually restrained her. Look, here's the thing about this thing. These fans, they get overzealous. They get overzealous of these things. Look, these wrestlers don't want to be touched like that. You got to be kidding me. That's why these fans, they get so erratic and they get drunk and they have and they do stupid things and then when somebody speaks out, they're gonna deny it. To me, that is the biggest crock of shit. Look, I hope she does report this incident to the proper authorities, because that is stupid what that fan did. I don't condone these fan behavior. I really don't condone it. I don't condone it. I don't condone fan behavior like that. She wrote on Sunday night, I'll show you in her Twitter, Sunday night, I'm spreading the word on it's never okay to touch a performer without their consent. And that's true. And that's the right thing to do. She needs to speak out about this. Every single woman that's participating, whether it's WWE, the indie circuit, or wherever you do, you touch a performer without their consent, you're the one that's going to be in a lot of trouble. And the people's got and you got to speak up. Look, I know the fans going to scream and holler, that's my right and all that. No, that's not your right to touch somebody. You don't have a right to touch somebody. Why do you have to fucking do these things, folks? Why? What is your major malfunction in life? Are you that stupid, or just want to be known to get on your social media with your friends and brag about what you did over there and all that stuff? You're just putting yourself into a lot of trouble. I hope in the near future that we have security around those areas where those wrestlers are at, and if they catch somebody doing something, they can throw them out, literally, because this right here in this age of Me Too and all that, and sexual assaults and all that, you don't do stuff like that. So I'm glad Scarlett Boudreaux did speak out about this incident. I hope this will never happen again. I hope TNA makes necessary security measures where these wrestlers can be protected. These wrestlers can be protected big time, because these overzealous wrestlers fans, you're gonna expect that they're overzealous. That's what they do. They get all mad and all when somebody sure, you can boo them and all that and scream and yell and curse, but don't touch these people. You got to be kidding me when you do stuff like that. So that's my take on this Scarlett Boudreaux story. I'm gonna post this to my so you can get it on I'm gonna go ahead and post it to my thing. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna go ahead and set this up. I'll post it. We post this in my Facebook page. You can find it on my Facebook page. I'll have it up in 1 second. And okay, there we go. It's up there on my Facebook timeline. You can go there and find it on my timeline. So we have about a minute left into this podcast. Let's go ahead and wrap this up for tonight. Okay. So let's see what else we need to talk about. I think we covered everything. So once again, this concludes tonight's Sports Time New Orleans sports video podcast pre-recorded edition for Monday, June 17th. We'll be back tomorrow with the Sports Talk with Carol Wiemeyer show on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and Twitch. Like, share, and subscribe. Everything's on the screen. So this will be uploaded and restreamed on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and Twitch. So everybody have a good evening.